More and more people are buying electric vehicles, and their favorite brand is, you guessed it, Tesla. About 7 out of 10 EVs sold last year were Teslas, so I guess everyone's buying a Tesla. In this week's episode of the Study Find Show, we want to know, are young people buying a Tesla to save the environment or just because they look cool cruising in them? And let me bring Steve in here first real quick to test his knowledge about all things Tesla and EV. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Jeff.
Okay, Steve, are you ready to guess what the study finds?
Ready as Chris Rock is at the Oscars after telling a questionable joke.
All right, let me explain the rules here. You'll have the chance to answer 10 questions, each worth 10 points. And if you get over 60 points, that's barely a C minus, Steve, you'll win a new Study Finds t-shirt. Okay, this study was done on 5,086 drivers across the United States, okay? Keep that in mind as we're answering. Do you own a Tesla?
I do not. I have a minivan. And, I'm just going to go off my amazing gut instincts, Jeff.
You're describing your gut instincts as amazing. I will be the judge of that. We'll start first with this question, Stevie. What percentage of those people said that they would choose to buy an electric vehicle for reasons other than to save the whales, the ozone layer, the rainforest, etc., etc.? You know, the whole environmental benefit thing. If you're within 10% of the correct answer, you get 10 points.
I would think that would be a primary reason, maybe to also save some money on gas. I guess that is an extra reason. So I'm going to go a little lower than half. I'm going to say 43%.
43%? You are close. The answer is 55%, so you're wrong. I love the buzzer, though.
Threshold, the 10%.
It's not 13%. It's not 12%. It's 10%.
10%.
But the answer is 55%. So you're starting off on a great note here. No points for question one. Right. All right, Steve, next question here. It's no surprise that image might be a factor in purchasing a car, even an electrical vehicle. But how many times more did the Gen Z respondents, those are the folks from ages 18 to 24. Are you 18 to 24, Steve?
I am 18 to 24 in my brain, Jeff.
Well, that's kind of what I think, too. So, okay. So how many of these folks say that how cool they looked was the number one priority as compared to the baby boomers who we discovered earlier last week, our ages 57 to 74? I'm going to give you a choice here. So it's 2 times, 3 times, 6 times, or 10 times more.
I think that the younger generation is quite image conscious. They want to look good. They wear some very outlandish clothing sometimes. They like to make fashion statements. And it's hip to look green, Jeff, not necessarily be green, I think, in this case. And I think when you look green, you look cool. I'm going to go with 6 times, Jeff.
6 times is your final answer, Steve?
Locked in.
And you're correct. 6 times. All right. See, you get the bell when you get it correct. Okay, Steve, next question. You saw the graph earlier. Can you name 5 electric vehicle models that aren't the Tesla Model S, Model 3, Model X, or Model Y in 10 seconds?
My graph that I'm looking at is just the U.S. electric new vehicle registration share by brand.
It was a trick question, Steve. No one can. Going to give you the 10 points. It was a trick question.
Oh, okay. It didn't say any of the brands.
That's right. Look at that. You've got 20 points already out of the gate.
So much closer to the t-shirt.
There we go. Okay, Steve, we're moving on to the next question, and this is an easy one. You have a 50-50 shot to basically redeem yourself from your first wrong question.
Okay.
Okay, are people more or less concerned about environmental impact when purchasing a car as compared to food at the grocery store? 10 seconds on the clock. Go.
I would think that cars would be easier and, you're going to the grocery store to get food because you're hungry. You're buying a car. You're thinking more about the environment. I'm going to go car, Jeff.
You're wrong.
What?
You could have flipped a coin and probably had a better chance.
How's that possible? I don't get that.
Well, the answer is less, according to the study, but it's a very close call. And 32% said emission reductions made them want to buy an electric vehicle, while 34% weighed the environmental impact when purchasing food. Literally 2 points separate them.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you the 10 points.
Ooh, yes.
There's the bell. Yeah, I'm giving you the 10 points because that's within our, that's within our 10% range. Now you're up to 30 points. So that's good for you. On a related note,
I'm just surprised people are going to the grocery store, Jeff, and they're looking at their meat and realizing that buying those
excuse me, products, they're doing what?
They're looking at their meat and they are
producers are telling me that you need to keep it clean on the Study Find show.
Sorry. Okay. Clarify. Looking at their meat products that they're taking off the shelves at the grocery store, and are they really thinking to themselves, gee, I should go buy beans instead?
On a related note, never eat a bean burrito in your Tesla if you want to look cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Good life hack.
Producers are telling me that Teslas have a built-in fart sound maker. In fact, they had to recall it because it's not a safety device. If your car, an electric vehicle, which is already quiet, going down the road, when you go to honk the horn, makes a fart noise, it's not like people are going to jump out of the way.
That's true.
Anyway, Steve, now
we're
going to
taking this Tesla on a weird turn.
Steve, we're going to move on to the next game, and I like to call this one multiple choice. I know it's kind. I'm hoping
come up with that yourself.
But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that'll take off as a thing. Which of the following items was the most important to respondents in switching from gas-powered to electric? Is it A, cost saving, B, infotainment system, C, four-wheel drive, D, saving the rainforest, E, peer pressure? Steve, go.
You know, Jeff, I would have to think that in today's economy, money is what prevails, although I think peer pressure would be an interesting answer for this one. At the end of the day, it comes down to the money, right?
I suppose it could. Is that your final answer?
Final answer. I'm sure it's correct.
You're wrong!
You know, it makes no sense. Where do you get these surveys from?
Well, I know. I tell you. It's crazy, isn't it? B, the infotainment system. Obviously. Infotainment system. How else are you going to look cool driving down the road in your Tesla if you can't play your tunes?
What does that even mean?
You know, Steve, according to respondents, a convenient and connected entertainment system was a must.
You know, Jeff, I wore a shirt for today. It says, failure is not an option. And I'm starting to get a little nervous that it might be. I'm on par with where I was in high school, so.
Well, there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have 30 points. To stay in the game, you have to get the next 3 questions correct. Otherwise, your dream of a new Study Finds t-shirt size medium goes right down the tubes. That was a toilet flushing sound. Okay, Steve, I call this game Rank and Bank. Rank and Bank.
Let's do it.
If you can rank these 3 car brands from highest to lowest number of EVs sold, EVs, Steve, are electric vehicles.
Right.
Sold in January of 2022, you get 10 points. All right, Mercedes, Volvo, and BMW. I'll have your answer now.
Wow, I have absolutely no basis of knowledge in this question at all. What was the second one?
Story of my life, Steve. Mercedes, Volvo, and BMW.
Yes, Mercedes, Volvo, and BMW. I will go with Volvo, BMW, Mercedes.
Well, the answer is not that. BMW sold 23,728 cars. Mercedes sold 20,133, and then Volvo 16,196. But what about Tesla, you're wondering? Am I right?
I'm so wondering. That was actually my next question. Was what about Tesla, Jeff?
They sold 51,302. So more than BMW and Mercedes combined. That's why he's rolling in the dough.
Those infotainment systems, Jeff, I hear they are spectacular. spectacular.
Well, that's true. We've learned that the infotainment system is very important to these folks. They say the idea of luxury being defined by what's under the hood has been replaced in the electric car era by seamless connectivity, integration to your essential digital ecosystem, and the UX design, that's user experience design. So this is how the whole infotainment system comes into play.
I just want to be able to easily turn on the air conditioning and the heat and change the channel on the radio.
That's it.
Shift.
Okay, so Steve, we'll move back on to the question now after our fine little conversation there. What are 2 reasons you wouldn't buy an EV if one of 2 of your answers now is mentioned in this study? You get 10 points. If you weren't going to buy an EV and you thought, okay, I'm sitting down, I'm trying to figure out if I should get one, and you finally say, you know what? I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
What's your reason? Again, if your answer is on the list, you will get the 10 points.
Well,
you have 10 seconds, Steve.
Buying an EV because I don't have anywhere to charge it outside my house. Number 2 is I am just an old-fashioned dude, Jeff.
Well, you know what, Steve? You get the 10 points. Your answer is on the list. Okay, here we go. Lack of charging stations, a higher price, and that's 50% of folks have charging anxiety, and 57% can't stomach the high price tag. Okay, I have another rank and bank question for you. This is where you have to rank the answers. Okay, rank these reasons why drivers would buy an electric vehicle from top reason to bottom. Okay, here we go. Better performance, fuel cost saving, and emission reduction. Go!
I'm going to go, again, money is always, to me, the biggest issue. So we'll go fuel cost. You know, if we're going to go back to the crux of this study, which was people are buying it for, not buying it for the green aspect, we'll go with the emission being last.
Okay.
And we'll go with performance at number 2.
Oh, you were so close. Here's the answer, and we might give you partial credit for this because you did get fuel cost savings was number 1 at 48%. It makes sense if so many people are deterred by the higher price tag, right? 32% care about emissions. That was number 2, Steve. It was number 2. 30% just want better performance. For me, the performance is really important. So because I tend to agree with you, Steve, I'm going to give you the full 10 points.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for our history lesson now, Steve. Let's find out how much a guy with EV in his name, that's you, by the way. See how I did that?
Very well played, Jeff.
It's Steve.
I can see why you host this thing.
In 1996, what company released the first mass-produced fully electric car? Was it Ford, GM, Tesla, or Audi?
GM.
General Motors is correct. You are correct. Wow, look at you with all the answers. Okay, another question. What year was Tesla founded? Was it 1998? Was it 2000, 2003, or 2007?
I have no idea. So we're just going to go right at the start of the millennium, Jeff, and we're going to go with 2000.
You're wrong. So sorry, Steve. It's actually 2003. That's the same.
Oh, I should have gone through
You know, incidentally, that is the same year that the human genome was finished sequencing.
Yes.
Not sure if you were aware of that. Okay, Steve, we're moving along here. We're getting close to the end now, so I know you can feel the anticipation growing. And I hope people are learning as we go here about some really cool stuff about the Tesla. What electric vehicle manufacturer has a CEO who was the former chief engineer of the Model S under Elon Musk? Is it XPENG, RIVIAN, Faraday Future, or Lucid Motors? Your answer in 10 seconds, Steve.
Madison, what is it? It's what? She says XPENG.
I swear I thought I heard her say it's rough. Oh, I'm here all week. The answer, Steve, is Lucid Motors.
Of course it is, Jeff.
Yes, it's helmed by Peter Rawlinson. He's the former chief engineer of the Model S. He worked at Tesla for about 3 years, in case you want to check his resume.
Well, I did not know that, but I learned a lot today.
You know,
I did not win a T-shirt.
No, actually, by my math here, and I've got the math on paper.
You've been writing it. Yeah.
I have been. I show that you have 6 answers correct and 4 incorrect, which means you have won a t-shirt.
Ooh, yes.
Congratulations.
That saved my life.
Well, I know. Just think.
Don't show that to my wife or my kids, actually.
You're celebrating over a 60%?
Like I said, right on par with high school, Jeff.
There you go. Well, it's a little bit gratifying to see that I'm not the only one who didn't know a whole lot about electric vehicles until I read this report at Study Finds, where we do invite people to like and subscribe for the latest information. Am I correct? That's right. So they should click on the like button and subscribe, because if you don't do that, you're never going to know when the next show comes up. Am I right?
I would say, actually, if you have an electric car and you have a Tesla, get that thing on autopilot, open your phone to YouTube, and watch the rabbit hole of videos on Study Finds, the Study Finds Guy channel on YouTube, Jeff.
And I will say that, remember, folks, we are not professionals.
Don't take my advice. I got a D today.
Where I went to school, a 60 was really an F, but call me crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, so please do check out the link in the description below on this and all kinds of cool studies at Study Finds, and we'll see you next time on the Study Finds Show. Say goodbye, Steve.
Bye, everyone.